The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for Living a Primal Lifestyle with your host, Nico de Haan. And now, here's Nico de Haan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle. And it's Friday, the 7th of September already. Boy, it's going fast this year, isn't it? And welcome to Clearwater, Florida. We're downtown now. It's 86 degrees, kind of cloudy here, but it's a beautiful day. And you can give us a call. I'm here with Paige Clarke, Nico de Haan, Paige Clarke. And we're co-hosting here today, so we're going to have a lot of fun. The number here is 877-927-6648. If you'd like to give us a call, I'd like to remind you that I've got a new Health Signals newsletter that is flying to you by way of the web right now, so you can check that out. You can reach me at nico@tfnn.com if you want to correspond, any advice, or if you just want to let us know how you feel about the show. Our shows are archived on TFNN.com. They're as a podcast on iTunes, and our videos are on livingaprimallifestyle.com, and of course on YouTube if you put in TFNN and Living a Primal Lifestyle. How you doing, Paige?
Good morning.
It's so nice to have you back.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's so much nicer when you're here. You know, I've got this new
hot off the press.
Right, hot off the press. It is, too. I've got some great articles in here. Some of them we talked about 2 weeks ago and a little bit last week. But the main gist of this is really talking about cholesterol. That's the beginning of it. I've got really 2 articles in here, and really about the war on cholesterol. And I've got this great video by Dr. Giddin in here that you really need to watch. Very, very important. Second thing in here is about an article that talks about sucrose deprivation and how it makes a response in your body that actually kills cancer cells. It's really important because this is really one of the reasons that the primal diet, the paleo diet, the low-carb way of eating is really so healthy for us.
Completely. And most people that know that they're trying to help people recover from cancer, a low-sugar diet is highly recommended.
It's the first thing. It should be the
Sugar's
first
got to
step.
go.
The sugar's got to go. And not only sugar, but then everything that gets your body to respond as sugar does in your body.
Correct. It breaks down.
It breaks down. So, and what are those things? Those
grains
things,
and pastas,
and
breads,
pastas, any starches. So, and fast food, folks, the worst thing that's going to plug up your system. So that's a whole other subject too.
Yeah, I really love this cover story that you did on the cholesterol. That's a really big point. I have people coming into my office, just wanted to interject all the time, and they go, "Oh, I was just at the doctor, and my cholesterol is really high." And I'm like, "Well, what is it?" And I'll say, "Oh, 220." And I'm like, I think that's great.
220.
I want mine to be 200, 220. It's the ratio.
Yeah.
You need your cholesterol needs to be. A lot of the old doctors believe that cholesterol around 200, 225 helps you make sexy hormones, and that's what we want. We want to stay healthy and vibrant.
Well, we all want to be sexy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. and the thing, too, is that you've got to understand is that cholesterol really is there to repair things that are going on in your body that are caused by glycation, oxidation, inflammation. And we talked about that.
I call it the innocent bystander. It was there at the scene of the crime.
Okay.
And guess who's the criminal? Sugar.
Sugar, yeah.
Sugar is what irritates the arterial lining. And if you do introduce unhealthy fats, the bad trans fats, they're going to be at the scene of the crime. And cholesterol is just going there to try and make the repair.
And the fat cells, too. Oh, yes. I forgot to turn my phone off, I think.
That's okay.
That's probably the Verizon guy saying, "Where the heck are you?" So the other thing is, when we talk about sugar and things like that, we also have to kind of mention the bad fats that are in our society, because there's a lot of good fats out there, but mainly the bad fats are what is causing the cholesterol reaction in your body to be bad, in a sense. Would you? Is that the way to put it?
Exactly.
And the bad fats, of course, are these type of fats that come from what they call vegetable oils.
Vegetable oils, trans fats that have been heated and the molecular structure has changed.
Right.
You know, look, Nico, we need fats. Our cell membranes are made of fats.
Yeah.
We need, if you don't have healthy fats, I mean, your body is going to use the trans fats to make unhealthy cell membranes. And I like to explain to my clients, it's kind of like putting a piece of saran wrap across your face. That's a good way. You can't breathe. You can't breathe if you have a saran wrap wrapped around your head. And if you're making bad cells, because that's really what it's about, is we are a collection of billions of cells. So if we make healthy cells by using healthy fats, so we can make healthy membranes, the good stuff's going to get in, the bad stuff's going to get out of the cell.
Yeah, and you got to understand these oils that they call vegetable oils are actually industrial seed oils.
All right, so can I talk about my favorite one?
Yes.
Or my least favorite one?
Well, yeah.
I love it when people say, "Oh yeah, I use the canola oil." And do you know the story? Did we already talk about this, or
no,
do I just feel like I talk about it all the time?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We need to talk about it.
Canola oil is the same as the corn oil, and basically if it's all on the shelves of the grocery store in mass, then But the story behind canola oil is it's actually from a plant that's called rapeseed. How about that name? But marketing people figured out no one is going to buy an oil that has the label rapeseed. So Madison Avenue advertising people came up with the idea of canola because it was a product primarily in Canada.
Right, it's Canadian
Canola,
oil.
Canadian Oil Company.
Yeah.
So thus we have canola oil. And the reason the farmers in Canada like to grow rapeseed oil is the bugs don't eat it. Well, the bugs know something that we don't.
There you go. The bugs are smarter than we are.
So it's a very highly profitable crop because they don't have to, the bugs won't eat it. Well, we need to pay attention to what the bugs are telling us, and we don't need to eat canola oil either. So say no to canola oil.
Do you know why the farmers were growing it? It's because it's industrial oil used as lubrication. Okay, and
in industry.
In industry. And most of the corn oil is the same thing. The wheat oils, all these industrial oils were basically used in the manufacture of oils for, whatever in manufacturing. So things would be nice and slippery. And one day they know it's a product that kind of stays on the shelf a long time. It doesn't go bad. It does go rancid when it's heated, however. And in our bodies, it's just something you don't even want to be in there. And it's in most everything. If you're eating processed foods, this is in there. I guarantee it. It's kind of like the high fructose corn syrup. It's
Start looking at your labels. Start looking at your labels, and
Yeah.
you're going to notice that they use canola oil. It's cheap, and it's everywhere.
So, the alternative is to use good oils, and same with sugars. We were talking about sugars before, and honey. One of the articles in here is honey, a sweet alternative for treating coughs in children. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because honey has been used for so many good things.
Honey is a natural antibiotic. It's a great skin moisturizer.
It's good for your gums.
Great for your gums. It's got so many ingredients, has great B vitamins, and mixed in with a skin preparation, it's very anti-aging.
Yeah, and if you get the really raw types of honey, then you've got the propolis in there. You've got the
immune system builder propolis.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I have a tablespoon before I go to bed because it really does help. The serotonin in there changes to melatonin when it gets dark, and it really does help you sleep. So if you even, usually about middle through my cycle, I tend to wake up a little bit, and I go right back to sleep. And if I don't eat a lot of carbohydrates in the afternoon or something like that, the honey actually is that carbohydrate that will make that melatonin for me and giving me a sleep, because it does help you sleep.
And, I knew about that benefit, but I had not really actually spoken with someone that was using it in that manner. But I think that's huge.
Well,
and the other
I don't eat a lot of carbs.
Right.
So I'll eat some berries, and we'll eat a little bit of vegetables in the afternoon. In the morning, it's basically protein and fat for me. Mm-hmm. And before my workout, I have a little protein shake, my organic whey that I get from the Emerald Essentials. And when I come home, I usually have a little bit more of that, or I might have just a little snack. So I don't eat a lot more until dinner time, and then when my wife comes home, we have dinner together. We have a good source of some kind of meat, and then a little bit of vegetables or some avocado, and that's pretty much it. So
let me give 3 points I want to make about honey. Again, we come back to, is it processed honey or is it raw, natural, unrefined honey? That's what you want, and preferably you want to get honey from a local co-op or source near you. Because if it's a honey that's harvested in an area near you, it's going to be made from bees that are frequenting the flowers and bushes in your area, and it's a very powerful allergy preventer. And so I often suggest that people take a teaspoon of honey when allergy season comes along.
Yep.
And Ayurvedic medicine and around the world, they also use pollens, different pollens that come from the honey for hormone balance. So cool. one of my formulas that I use in my practice with people is a multi-pollen blend along with recommendation for honey. I do limit some of the honey if I'm trying to work with people to reestablish their sugar levels, or if weight is a big issue. You know, we may still have a tad, but it's a good sweetener.
A nice thing too, you can find people who are gathering honey from your local area. So that's really nice. Then you're much more in tune with the environment that's around you. I know my physical therapist, Sylvia Rutz, she gets from a local beekeeper, and she uses it because she has her and her children have allergies. They have the allergies because they eat a lot of grains. But, you know, that's another story. So honey is very good. So going on here, there's another article about don't fall for the cholesterol myth. What else is in here? Research about Alzheimer's being a form of diabetes. Real connection.
Diabetes type 3.
Type 3 is
again the brain. You know, the membranes and it's about another healthy fat. And you'll have to get the newsletter. It's it's excellent information in the newsletter. But what you're going to learn too that again we got to talk about the healthy fats. And coconut oil is tremendous in helping to
it's one of the great sources of fat.
And to reverse Alzheimer memory type issues. Yeah,
and there's a lot of things on the web about it, and I've included some of the videos in here about the Alzheimer's connection and some of the wonderful stories about people within a week showing really much more attention and getting their memory back and things like that. So important stuff. A Harvard study that confirms fluoride reduces your children's IQ. And there's a great link in here to Dr. Dean Burke, who really goes into depth about why fluoride is doing this and that you need to really not drink that type of water. And then I've got an article, this is what your tap water looks like and what's in normal tap water, with, of course, another video link in there.
Folks, I have to tell you, this is an extreme passion of mine. I'm very active in our local community regarding fighting the fluoridation of our water systems. You need to get out and find out and talk to your local governmental officials and with your cities and towns and fight the fluoridation. Fluoridation is mass medication without your consent. If you were to receive medication in your water system from your doctor of any other drug, which that's another thing, we are getting medicated, but we need to get fluoride out of the water. And the Fluoride Action Network is a great resource. You can link to their Facebook site or just Google it. Fluoride Action Network. Get involved. Get the fluoride out of the water.
And pick up the newsletter, folks. Information is here for you to get better and to really tweak your health. And give us a call here at 877-927-6648. I'll be back in a couple minutes with Paige. I got to answer this phone.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her Small Cap Roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Paige and Nico, and we're here waiting for your call. It's 877-927-6648. Remind you to pick up my Health Signals newsletter. We just had a whole segment about that. Real important that you get this information to you.
Great newsletter.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I want to read something.
Okay.
Talk.
Okay, go ahead.
Modern wheat, a perfect chronic poison, doctors say. And this came off of CBS News, and what we're finding out is that really wheat is, the doctors are saying it's not just about the gluten. It's about a new protein that's been created. The wheat that we're eating today is not the wheat that we ate years ago. It's a result of modern industry creating a wheat that really in the 60s and 70s we created. And what we're seeing is that it is responsible for a lot of the autoimmune disease and situations that we're seeing all over. Many doctors, many practitioners like myself, realize that many health conditions can be reversed when people will cut out the gluten wheats from their diet. I want to read you something. This is from Dr. William Davis, a cardiologist, who published a book about the world's most popular grain, wheat. Davis said that the wheat we eat these days isn't the wheat your grandmother had. It's an 18-inch tall plant created by genetic research in the 60s and 70s. This thing has many new features nobody told you about, such as there's a new protein in this thing called gliadin. In my office, we do a lab test to see if people, saliva test, you had to look for gliadin sensitivity. Guess what? A lot of people have it.
Yeah.
It's not gluten. I'm not addressing people with gluten sensitivities and celiac disease. I'm talking about everyone else, because everybody else is susceptible to the gliadin protein. That is an opiate. This thing binds into the opiate receptors in your brain, and in most people stimulates appetite such that we consume 440 more calories per day, 365 days per year.
Wow. So it's all linked. You know, all these foods that have been introduced in the last 50 years or so are really making us addictive to them.
Mm-hmm. And guess who makes money when you go down the middle aisles of the grocery store? The multinational corporations that use the glutens and grains and processed packaged foods. It works really to their advantage if we crave these foods through an opiate. So gliadin is an opiate-like substance. Yeah,
and most types of grains do have an opiate in there, and that's really a protectant in the sense that you know, these are seeds. Remember, they're not the plant itself; they're the reproductive parts of plants, and they need to protect themselves because they're down really low. They're all grass seeds, most of them, and even nuts and other seeds have them in it. I mean, if you eat into an apple and those seeds, if you started grinding those up and making bread out of that, same response. Mm-hmm. You know, all these things are tied to reproductive parts of plants. We're not meant to eat those things.
So this, Dr. Davis goes on, and we'll finish it up with this. But and this is what I see in my practice when I'm coaching people to try and make a change in their diet. He says we're seeing hundreds of thousands of people losing 30, 40, 80, 150 pounds. Diabetics become no longer diabetic. People with arthritis have dramatic relief. People lose leg swelling, acid reflux, irritable bowel syndrome, depression, goes on and on.
I think I see a pattern here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, you know, most people, my wife, of course, has the acid reflux. And good news, last week she began weaning herself off of the hydrochloric acid, which we've been taking for about 7 or 8 months now. And, you know, I read these articles in my research about getting the stomach acid in from an outside source because her body wasn't producing it. She always had trouble, you know, getting rid of or digesting the fats. So this has helped her tremendously. She's not on that expensive medication anymore. But now she's also off the hydrochloric acid, at least for this past 10-day period. And she feels great. She's been eating like she normally eats, and no more of the acid pills because now we're assuming that the acid is actually being produced by her own body.
Exactly.
Nice success story. And that's exactly what the research showed.
Well, the old doctors, you know how I love to talk about the old doctors, you know, the old bitters before a meal, that was to help your body stimulate what it needs to make its own HCl.
Okay.
And although I will use digestive enzymes, and that's probably another talk, HCl and other proteases to help break down food, because it's huge.
Probiotics.
People are not breaking down their food, and a lot of it's because
we don't eat a lot of sour food anymore either, except maybe a pickle here and there. But the old sauerkraut that I used to eat when I was a kid.
Raw sauerkraut is loaded with probiotics, but even just in being able to generate the pancreatic enzymes to break down food, we're not. And the reason is we're looking at foods that are, I call them frankenfoods. I mean, this wheat, I mean, that's the reality. Wheat in this country is a frankenfood.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Cool.
Now, you know what, you and I were talking, though. You know, you do not eat any grains.
No grains at all. I can cut it out. So you mentioned you eat this grain. What was the grain you mentioned? Quinoa.
Emirates, some of the ancient grains. You know, so there are some options because we realize a lot of you tigers and tigresses are working your way towards a paleo lifestyle, and we've got some solutions. We can talk about that more later.
Yeah. Okay. So our number here is 877-927-6648. Next segment is a real long one, so we've got some really great information to help you kind of slide into this new type of lifestyle where you're going to be eating better and feeling better. So this is Paige and Nico. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
See you next time.
You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've seen him on Tiger TV, as well as being featured as a regular CNBC guest and contributor, and now you can have access to his expert trading advice each morning through his daily trading newsletter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading stocks, options, and indices every market day. Market Insights comes out each market day before 9:30 a.m. and provides traders with Tom's daily commentary, opinion, and specific trade recommendations on the markets. Using advanced Fibonacci methods, volume indicators, Gartley patterns, candlestick charting, gaps, and market timing, Market Insights will give you specific trade recommendations including entry, stop, and exit prices. The summer is over and traders are back. Get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to check out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico and Paige on Living a Primal Lifestyle. Boy, tongue twister there. The number here is 877-927-6648. And before the break, we were really talking about if you haven't gone completely paleo, we understand there's this transition that we're taking place, and there are some types of starches that you could still incorporate that are relatively safe.
Well, what we're talking about, we just indicated that the wheat you're eating and the gluten that we're eating is not the same that we were eating years ago. It's been engineered, like so many of our foods. That's a key point right there. Just stay away from genetically modified foods, but people don't realize that the wheat, this gliadin, is a different protein. And some other choices that you might take a look at are quinoa, it's spelled Quinoa, amaranth, spelt, and millet. These are gluten-free grains. They're actually really seeds. And again, always better sprouted.
Also soaked.
Soaked and sprouted.
And you can even sour them. Of course, that's what they do when they make alcohol. Yeah, fermenting or distilled. Even. So, you know, we realize that making this change can involve taking steps. So you might want to explore that. Another carbohydrate that kind of is just a plain starch is the old-fashioned white rice that you get at the Chinese restaurant. And, you know, understand that thousands of years ago when the Chinese people started eating this because other food was getting scarcer, they developed the white rice because that took all the toxins. They scraped all these toxins.
I didn't know this story.
They scraped all the toxins out, and then what you're left with is just the innards of it, which is basically a mild starch. Not too harmful to you. So when you're eating the brown rice, same with the whole wheats and things like that, you're getting that whole kernel, and that whole kernel is what's causing the problem. Okay, so there are ways of doing that, and people who do weightlifting and things like that and want to get some sugar back into their muscles, the glucose, use white rice or use other types of carbohydrates to things like juicing to get those carbohydrates in there. I myself don't eat a lot of carbohydrates.
Right, and we got to go back to a lot of people feel justified and eat, I eat whole grains. Well, I just want you to know that's a marketing term again, whole grain. It's really not the whole grain.
No,
it's been stripped, germ is gone. I mean, it's not a health food. So, baby steps, though.
Baby steps, for sure. Here, an article which is actually in my newsletter talking about the glucose deprivation, which means, of course, you're starving your body by not eating carbohydrates. And through different, this is called the Wahlberg effect. And they really know that research at UCLA, the professors there went through some of these studies, and they found that when they looked at what's going on with cancer cells, you deprive your body of sugar and glucose through the starches, then all of a sudden that cancer cell starts to really not live anymore.
And that's their food source. Yeah.
So it's important to look at this article.
A lot of that cites the work of Otto Warburg,
yes,
who won the Nobel Prize.
And that's why it's called the Warburg effect. Exactly.
And because he basically, identified that cancer is a fermentation process without oxygen.
Right. Yeah. And this kind of ties into some of the other things that I've been reading, and the coconut oil and the Alzheimer's. When you're starting to deprive your body of sugar, you want another fuel source, and that fuel source, of course, is going to be fat, because that's the nice, slow-burning type of energy release that your body needs to keep on going. So when you're switching over to become a fat burner, you're going to find that your body starts calming down. It's not so much inflamed, and that's why the Alzheimer's, the ADD, all these different brain functions, really you start to clear up.
Exactly, because you're building healthy cell membranes. And your body can get rid of the waste, and it can let the good stuff in.
That's right.
So you know what, let's talk about the, what do you guys call the coffee? The Tiger coffee?
Oh, we call it Tiger Brew, but it's bulletproof coffee is when I first heard about it.
Right, and I actually do it even before we joined the show. I do it as well, and I add the coconut oil in the morning, which gets me, because most of my diet is fats, healthy fats, a great percentage, and so it's a great way to start in the morning with an energy source, a healthy energy source.
Yeah.
Raw cream.
I'll tell you how I start. And a lot of people ask me, what do you eat in the morning? Well, I usually eat some really good pork sausage, and I usually eat 3 eggs. Nice pasture-raised chickens are laying these eggs, and I put them in coconut oil and fry them all up. And I read the paper, and then I'll fix my bulletproof coffee, Tiger Brew, and then I go to work. And usually I don't eat again until after jiu-jitsu, which happens to be about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm having my breakfast at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm not even hungry all day long, folks.
You want me to tell you what I do in the morning?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so I have mine. I call it my healthy caramel macchiato. Is that how you say it? Everyone buys those drinks from Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
For like $5 or something. Anyways, I sometimes have real coffee, but I recommend for my clients a product called Dandy Blend. And you can actually Google it, dandyblend.com. Find it at health food stores. It's dandelion root. It's roasted dandelion root. And the benefits of dandelion root are just too numerous to name. It tastes like roasted coffee. And then I work with people who don't want to give up their coffee, and I say, could you mix your coffee and your dandelion root? And I have them put the coconut oil and the creamer and a little bit of stevia, and it just tastes fabulous.
And we have somebody on the line right now, Ann from Cleveland, Ohio, who is asking a question about sugar in coffee. So let's bring Ann on the line. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Ann.
Are you there? She's still here? Oh, she dropped off. Hopefully you can call back, Ann.
It looks like she was asking about sugar and coffee.
Yes. And that's a great subject, too.
So I challenge you. I brought it in today. Hey, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
We talked about sweeteners. No. Table sugar is a refined, stripped, white, bleached sugar. You don't want to use table sugar. This is called Just Like Sugar. And sometimes I put it in my purse because my son won't eat stevia. I love stevia myself. As I mentioned, my morning coffee is the dandelion root, maybe some real coffee, real raw cream from my co-op, and a big spoonful of coconut oil, because I try to get 3 tablespoons of coconut oil a day, and stevia or this. This is actually chicory root, which is a cousin of dandelion. It's sweet, tastes good. I mean, you'll have to taste it on the break.
Yeah, I will.
And so it has 0 calories, doesn't cause the insulin spikes. So the sweeteners that I like are stevia, this chicory root, some xylitol, because there's actually, we'll have to talk about xylitol, but in too much it can cause a little bit of a stomach upset, but xylitol is a good sweetener, and it's actually good for your teeth.
Well, I used sugar for many years, too, just like everybody else, and it was about 15 years ago I decided I'm going to cut sugar out of my coffee. I always loved coffee, so I said I'm going to start to wean myself. So instead of having that 1 teaspoon, which wasn't too much, but I slowly brought it down to 0. And now I really don't have any coffee at all, sugar in my coffee at all, but in the afternoons I'll add a little bit of honey to it.
Somebody's asking if there's a Dandy blend for the Keurig. That's the coffee maker. I don't know about that. But Dandy blend is an instant roasted beverage, so you can make the Dandy blend with a pot of water. It's boiled water, you add the roasted Dandy blend, and it tastes great like coffee. I mean, go check it out.
Yeah, so this is just basically an herb. Okay, so we have Ann back on the phone. I really appreciate you calling back, Ann. So how you doing today? Ann, are you there?
Oh.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Ann.
I'm sorry we got honey. I'm sorry we got cut off before, but I was worried about, my husband's always complaining that I put too much sugar in my coffee, and I know I do. That's the only sugar I get, actually. I don't like any other sweets. But I know that's too many. 3 in 1 cup of coffee.
And that is a lot. And I tell you, if you just can try weaning, and what I have a lot of my clients do is deciding that, what happens, too, when you have that much sugar to start your day, and what you're doing is you're just crashing your adrenal glands. You're getting that sugar high, but what happens is your energy level kind of spikes up. You've got that caffeine and you got the sugar, and then you just have a crash. I'd love for you to try. I mean, you can go to like a health food store and see if you can find this product. It's called Just Like Sugar. And try and mix that, or even xylitol or stevia. You have to explore different brands. There's certain stevias that have a little more bitter taste. I personally don't taste it anymore. I love it. In fact, I don't even like the taste of regular sugar. It takes a little while, but you can do it. And it'll be good for you. It'll be good for your blood sugar levels, and it'll be good for your energy and your adrenals as well.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay.
Give it a try.
Yeah, and the other thing you can do, too, is start replacing some of the sugars with some fats, like we do. Maybe use a little bit of coconut oil, or use a little bit of butter in your coffee, and start changing your taste buds around, and you'll start burning fat instead of sugar, and then you won't have that letdown halfway through the day.
And that's a great suggestion. I would tell you, Ann, to go ahead and add the coconut. Like I told you, it's a big scoop inside your coffee. So you'll see a little bit of an oily residue. You'll get to enjoy it. And you'll notice that after you have your coffee, you don't have this growling, stomach, oh, I've got to eat something. You feel satiated because you've had some fat.
Really, thank you so much for calling back.
Thank you for calling, Ann.
You're welcome.
Okay,
welcome.
Take care. Now, in the chat room, Ken from Philly is talking about the
Manuka honey.
And the honey, and using whey protein. And I've got a great whey protein, and it's mentioned in my newsletter from the Emerald Essentials, and you can go to my website, livingaprimallifestyle.com, and there's a direct link to that whey protein, which is really good for you. And, one thing that Ken is mentioning here with Health Signals, which is the newsletter, he has slowly transformed his family to wean themselves off of breads.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it's a great thing. When I hear stories like that, it really makes a huge difference.
And the thing about it is, too, is that if people stop eating the packaged breads and grains, you wouldn't believe how much more food you can eat. When you're eating a healthy protein source, healthy fats, and greens and salads, you can eat so much more food.
Yeah. And,
right.
I always talk about, pay attention to your proteins and fats, and that's the real important thing. That's where the center of your meal should be, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and then you can sort of eat the other stuff as condiments. That's kind of the way I look at it. So you're giving, and when you get your budget together, concentrating on the really great food, your proteins and the fat, then the other stuff is you're not spending so much on that. Because breads do cost a lot of money. It's a lot of waste of money. Your chips and your cereals and your diet sodas and
crazy.
all. Yeah, I mean, I remember sitting in front of the TV, and as soon as you put that chip or peanuts in your mouth, you start eating those things, and it's hard to stop those things because the salt and the sugar is all in there.
Absolutely. I'm sitting here looking. We're just getting all kinds of comments. We appreciate the feedback, everybody. Someone's talking about raw milk and goat kefir. Goat milk, raw cow milk. I'm going to make a comment about dairy. I don't recommend any dairy if it's processed and pasteurized. But raw milk and dairy, I think, are superfoods. Now, it doesn't mean you have to eat a lot of them, or if you prefer not to eat dairy, that's fine. But they're really not even the same animals. So, even though maybe in the paleo lifestyle, we don't really recommend a lot of dairy, I do think for certain people it's a great choice. After all, whey protein is actually from a dairy source.
Yeah,
so.
And if you get it raw, if you get your milk raw, then actually it is kind of a superfood. There's another person in the chat room who's talking about fluoride in the toothpaste.
Oh boy!
And that's another subject. And maybe we'll do that in the next segment. Why don't we write that down so we don't forget it?
Definitely.
Because I've got a whole thing on that myself too, because fluoride is in a lot of things, and it definitely is a poison of some kind. And in fact, in my newsletter, you'll find an article about that.
So we're going to talk about it on the next break?
Yeah, I think we'll talk on the next break, because we're also talking about peanuts and things like that. And peanuts, of course, are not really a nut. And I think nuts are great. Again, they're still seeds, so tend to scale down the consumption of nuts. If you're starting eating a lot of nuts, first of all, there's a lot of calories in them, but there's a lot of proteins in there that are very hard for us to digest. So if you can,
do you like hemp seeds?
Hemp seeds? They're all right, but there's not a lot of taste to them, I don't think. Mm-hmm. So, why you eat hemp seeds?
I like hemp seeds. Yeah. I like them on a salad because it's a complete protein. Yeah. And I'll put it on a salad and.
Yeah, they have a thing at these jiu-jitsu competitions that I go through. Akaya, different kinds of things, different kinds of berries, and they always put the hemp seeds on there. Everybody's saying, "Oh, I got hemp seeds. This is really cool. I'm getting a buzz." But that's really, of course, you don't get a buzz off of hemp seeds. So.
Oh no, it's not. That's another conversation, though.
Well, yeah,
we can talk about that one day.
About marijuana?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean, our country was built on that. I mean, did you know if you were our forefathers, you were in trouble if you didn't grow hemp?
Really? Of course, great clothing source, great rope source, besides all the other things that go along with it. And certainly it's being used medicinally all over the world.
Medicinally, it's a powerhouse. Yeah,
it's definitely a powerhouse.
Let's talk about that one day.
Yeah, okay. That sounds great. Let's see. We have one more segment coming up. Remind you to please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I've got a brand new issue. And, one of the things in here, too, I've got some great recipes for kids. If you want to fix a couple of snacks for your kids in the morning, or just stuff that you can fix real fast, there's some recipes in here. 5 minutes will do it, and you've got a nice little meal for your child before they go to school.
And that's great that you're doing that in the newsletter, because I think so many kids are grabbing a grain.
Yeah.
So let's figure out ways to get them
off the
paleo
grains,
world.
Because once your kids are off grains, they can study easier. They'll actually like it, folks, because their brain will be working better. So you get one more chance to give us a call at 877-927-6648, and we'll be right back.
If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kay Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico and Paige on Living a Primal Lifestyle. We got a little short segment left, so let's get right into it. One thing we were talking about in the chat room was about fluoride in toothpaste. So definitely, we want to get fluoride out of your life, basically.
Try to go to a main grocery store and find a fluoride-free toothpaste.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
You have to go to a natural health food store, and I think next time in the newsletter we'll go ahead and put a way you can make your own homemade toothpaste.
Yeah,
it's much better.
I use a really good brand from India. I can't think of the name. It's Himalaya or something like that. Mm-hmm. But there are a couple of things you can do for your teeth that are really good, and one of them, of course, is oil pulling, which I mentioned before, which is a process when you wake up in the morning, before you drink anything, before you eat, you put a tablespoon of oil. I use sesame oil. You can use coconut oil.
How we love those oils. See, they come in handy. You buy
and what you're doing is basically swishing them around in your mouth for about 15 to 20 minutes until the oil gets really white. And then you just spit it out. And what happens is that it really cleans your teeth well. It also removes, because your mouth is really a conduit for the blood, it cleans the blood, takes toxins out of your blood. Mm-hmm. I recommend that, using that. The other thing that I do before we get into anything else is for your gums, if your gums are deteriorating before you go into surgery, I would recommend trying this for a few months. And that's basically taking baking soda on your toothbrush and brushing your teeth with with baking soda, and then spitting that out, and then packing some baking soda along the gum lines, putting that in, go to your cupboard, get a little bit of apple cider vinegar, put a little tablespoon of that and put it in your mouth, and it kind of explodes in your mouth, the baking soda with the liquid in there. Mm-hmm. So you have to keep your mouth closed and kind of swish that around for a few minutes, spit that out after a few minutes, and then just brush your teeth with a nice natural tooth paste. And that's going to start repairing your gums, because the combination of the baking soda and the apple cider vinegar will not allow bacteria to live in there.
And guess what? Because it creates an oxygen-rich environment. They like to ferment, germs. They like an oxygen pore. They multiply.
Right.
So sodium bicarbonate creates an oxygen alkaline, raises the pH. They can't live.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oil pulling, you mentioned doing it in the morning, and I've had people say, "Oh, I don't have time in the morning. I don't have time." I do it at night.
Yeah, you can do it as long as you're not going to eat. Do it before you eat.
No, like before I go to bed, when I'm reading the last 15. I sit there and I
on
swish
an empty stomach, better.
Empty stomach. Brush my teeth. I read. Swish it around. Makes your teeth white.
Yeah, really is a great cleanser. And also, the reason you do it on an empty stomach, because your blood is not getting in there. Your body's busy digesting your food. Your blood is not going to be so ready to go up into your mouth and get cleansed. So that's why on an empty stomach. There are a lot of great natural things that we have learned to do to help you cleanse your body, to remove toxins, and start living a primal lifestyle. Start, investigating this stuff for yourself. And the way to investigate is, go on the web and do some searches, or pick up my newsletter. And, I've got all the stuff in there that we talk about and more, lots of videos. A lot of different people learn different ways, some by reading, some by watching, some by listening. So, I want to try to give you as much information so you can make the transformation that I did and feel the way I feel. To what we call in jiu-jitsu is get your game on, so you can be the best person you can. And that's what Paige and I want to bring you. Now, Paige is going to be here every second week until the first of the year. Mm-hmm. And then I think we're going to be right full-time into this whole thing. We're going to find a way to counsel you people to get healthier, so you can keep on trading. And
please send us information. We really got a lot of feedback in the last couple of weeks, and we can kind of structure the show and the newsletter.
We want to structure it around you, like Obama said last night in his speech. It's all about you folks, nothing to do with us. We're just trying to bring you the information. So have a great weekend, feel real good, and
see you next time.
See you next time. Take care.